rises to support the bill. This bill replaces some of the old enactments, so I am looking at the bill, madam, as something that is going to serve the country for the next 80 years as some of the repealed bills. There are some clauses which may be capable of abuse, but I think the intent of the bill seems to be to facilitate this registration and have everything done in an organized manner. While some fears have been expressed by some of my friends, and some of them may be well grounded, I don't share those suspicions, because I find that this bill broadly aligns with the bills that are, the acts that are there in some of the developed countries. So when we travel abroad, we register with any hotel, wherever we go, the carrier registers our names. So this broadly aligns with the best practices of the developed countries. But I have one concern, Honorable Chairperson, sir. The concern that I had is that the timing of the introduction of the bill coincides with a slight reduction in the foreign tourist arrivals in India. This is a well-meaning bill, but this may need to be implemented in a slightly careful and gradual manner, because the immigration officers who have been given vast powers in terms of this enactment may also need to be prepared and counseled with regard to how they may need to have a friendly face when it comes to dealing with the foreigner-related aspects. Sir, so I would suggest, because the bill lacks a provision in relation to having a grievance cell or a facilitation or help desk, this could be provided by way of instructions that could be given by the central government. Any person having a problem, any foreigner entering India having a problem with any of these aspects, should have an easy mechanism of expressing his grievance, which needs to be addressed. That may help tourist arrivals into India and take away the difficulties for well-meaning foreigners who are coming in. Sir, as I see, this bill is aimed at that 1 or 2% of mischief mongers who may be coming into India, and the country seeks to avert it with a well-intent related plan. But this should not inconvenience the 98%. So one clause 3.2 of the bill, provides that an immigration officer can stop any person when the person is going outside India. I have one area of concern which I thought I will highlight to the government and see how they will be able to address it. Honorable Chairperson, sir, clause 3 subclause 2 provides in the proviso that notwithstanding anything contained in this subsection, no person shall be allowed to depart or exit from India if his presence is required in India by any authorized agency or on such grounds as the central government may by order specify in this behalf. So this authorized agency is not defined, so it could be any agency writing to an immigration officer that a person should not be allowed to travel, and the grounds that the central government may specify in the order seems to lack a little bit of a direction, but I am trusting that these small areas that may provide areas of concern may have to be addressed by the government when they are issuing appropriate orders, sir. So then, I find, sir, the bill leaves a lot of responsibility with the immigration officer. There is no oversight. Since there is an immigration bureau, I would recommend to the government, sir, to consider whether it would want to bring in a provision that any decision of the immigration officer should be made appealable to the immigration bureau or any other authority, so that some of the erratic decisions can be corrected, sir. Sir, then I find it good that the government has retained a power under clause 33 to grant exemption to certain categories of tourists or certain classes of persons from the operation of the act. Sir, I think, and this is a universal phenomenon, sir, that many countries have this different mechanisms for people arriving from different countries. Some of the countries that we do not have a problem with, the government may have to actively exercise its power under clause 33, sir, for providing exemption for such category of persons in relation to certain aspects that can be avoided. Sir, while the bill at present does not provide for this, the penalties and the clauses, sir, would mean that all of these would go before the regular courts. In the longer run, the government may consider whether they may want to designate some special courts, including by bringing an amendment into this bill, sir, which will deal with these cases, and some of the regular courts can be designated as special courts. Sir, lastly, the aspect of privacy, since data collection is being done at various levels, the government may have to focus on the aspects of privacy, because the Supreme Court has said fundamental rights would apply to the foreigners as well, and the right of privacy has been read into Article 21. So there could be a possible challenge on the Act saying that this would invade the privacy of a person unless we make an adequate provision. Sir, in conclusion, sir, I would recommend that while the bill seems to achieve an object, it can go a little further. I would look at it as a work in progress, sir. We support the bill, but we would request the government to look into it for any further clarifications or directions it can issue under the Act. And I think this Act can be improved by one or two other provisions, sir, that may have to be brought in at some subsequent point of time. Thank you so much, Chairman, sir.
Well, Dr. V. Sivdasan wanted